First of all, congratulations on Red Sea, Brother Island. It is so beautiful. It is an incredible watch. For you, what is it like to get into a project like this and just, see the world in a whole different perspective?
Um, I think I'm very lucky to because I love doing this, and I have been doing this since I was 14. I did my first diving course, and I was lucky to do this now for a living as well, to travel and film. And for the Red Seal Brother Islands, it was actually a dive trip I started with checking out a new housing for my camera, which I brought, and I did a 1 week liveaboard trip. It's not too far from Germany. It's like a 4 hour flight to go to Egypt, and I checked out the housing there, and the first day in the Brother Islands, I was like, okay, this has to be in a documentary because it's so beautiful. What you see there is almost untouched coral and so much marine life, like big sharks, a lot of them, like very rare seen, like thresher sharks and hammerheads, and it was incredible. I was really overwhelmed, and yeah, I was since I'm diving since I'm 14, I've seen a lot, but not obviously everything, and this was so beautiful. I had to go back and back.
Wow. I know for documentaries, you have an idea what you want to show, but getting to your location, you might not get what you want. How was it? Was a process for this because you got a lot of beautiful shots. You captured a lot of beautiful nature while out there.
I think that's the beauty of documentary is that you don't have to have a script which is written from A to Z and finished, and you can change it because it involves like a story. I think a good story involves by actually shooting or like being on it, and you see what you have and what is actually there, and then you can focus on the story even more. I mean, I knew there is this beautiful wreck which has been baked into the reef since it's 100 years old, and it's almost like a known coral reef, and that's beautiful. And I mean, you wouldn't know how many sharks do you see or what animals will you actually get. So just trying to make a documentary about like one shark or like a type of shark would be probably you could do this, but then again, I would think this is too little of a story. And I always try to find a combination of what I actually see and what you can get, and then obviously I had to I didn't do this on one trip. I had I think three or four trips. We actually went back and forth 4 times to get all the shots, but yeah, so it goes. Like keep looking and embrace what you get and what you see, and yeah.
Along with all the beautiful scenery that you show and the animals, there is a lot of research that must have gone into this because it's very educational. We get to hear a lot of what of the background of this place, the Red Sea and Brother Island. How much time did you spend researching, and what do you hope people get from getting all this information?
It was 2 years in total after, like with filming and after. So for the research, it was a good like straight 6 months, I would think. Um, and I, well, like I'm a scuba instructor or was a scuba instructor when I was 19 before I went into the film industry. So you know a little about fish, which you would tell your students, and then obviously you still are. I mean, if you're interested in marine biology or in marine life, you will always learn, and you will never stop learning. So much you can actually find and see, and I found it fascinating to learn about these animals and to pass this on. And I think this is something for not only, I mean, for divers, it is definitely very interesting to know what's going on and how or why fish behave like they do. And but as well for like just if you'd have a family and grandma was watching it, never go diving, or like a kid who might be interested in diving one day. I found this is a very uh, yeah, very interesting and nice thing to add on a documentary like this. Yeah.
Definitely. And what are some of the misconceptions that people have of diving, of the fish that you might encounter at the Red Sea?
I mean, I guess the most thing people would think of is sharks are still very considered dangerous and aggressive, and you can see in this documentary they are not. I mean, they are there and they are predators.
Mhm.
Um, I remember a friend of mine, she was doing a safari on land in Africa, and she showed me pictures where they were just walking around and a lion was following them. And I was like, can you be crazy? I would never do this. And then she was like, but you swim with sharks. And I was like, yeah, but that's not dangerous.
Yeah.
So it's really it's really obviously everything like live animals are always treated to have to be treated with respect, and you can never really tell what they're up to. But they are not like 99% they're not mean creatures or dangerous per se. And it's really about the same thing again, education and to know what you do or what you shouldn't do. And most accidents, which you could read in the newspapers, like with sharks, is still because they were lured with blood and water. Or and if you go like snorkeling, that's a thing which is really a bad idea with sharks because it makes sound for them like you are prey. And these are things, if you're a tourist, you might not know this. So I hope most tourists would watch something like this documentary to actually tell them how you can actually encounter something beautiful as a shark, but safely.
Is there other locations you want to go dive in and document for other people to see?
You mean in the future?
Yes.
Yeah. There's the new documentary I have on the table, and I was there just in March, is about the blue hole in Dahab. That's in Egypt again. Um, it's a very fascinating dive spot, and uh, I love it for the technical diving as well because I went there 120 meters at one dive already, and it's huge, and it's a very nice spot to portray and to actually tell stories about. There's been a lot of accidents, unfortunately, and most of it was uninformed diving, like divers who had not the proper gear and training to do this. And it's one reason I wanted to do this documentary to actually show how it's not hard to get the right training and gear. It's just you have to know what you actually do. And since I do this and I love doing this, this is the next documentary I'm doing right now.
Mhm. Uh,
And
since you've been a diver since 14, what is it about diving that captured your attention? How do you feel when you're in the water?
diving is really like you are in the real Magic Kingdom. It's not a Disney World anymore for me. It's there's so many facets of what you actually can do diving wise. It's first of all, it's like moving in space. If you are you're almost zero gravity, and I'm specialized in a lot of things like cave diving, and mine diving I do. And if you have walls and a ceiling above you and you float, this really goes. It's like a moonwalk. It's an incredible feeling, and it's great to go through untouched land or like not like dives or caves where no one has been before. And to portray this with a camera is even greater.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for your time. Red Sea, Brother Island is a beautiful watch. It's so educational as well. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you.